Hello and welcome to Westside Wise Wednesdays, presented to you by Quest Communities and connected to you by AT&T, where we are giving you the news that you can use with the information that you cannot refuse. Let's get into it. Thank you for tuning in to part one of our two-part series with AT&T's Venessa Harrison. My name is Ebony Ford.
And I'm Leonard Adams, your co-host.
And who we got with us today, Mr. Adams?
We have a very exciting guest today.
Yes.
Her name is Venessa Harrison. She is the president of AT&T Southeast Coastal States.
Wow.
Welcome to the Westside Wednesdays.
Welcome.
How are you today?
Welcome, Ms. Harrison.
I am well. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm thrilled to be here today, and I'm so excited about the Westside Wise Podcast. And this is going to be an incredible opportunity and resource for the Westside community.
Absolutely.
And the residents. And AT&T is very proud to be a part of it.
And we are very proud to have you be a part of it, too.
Thank you. So a little bit about my background.
Yes.
I grew up with very humble beginnings. Yeah. I grew up in low-income housing projects, one of 10 children, raised by a single mother, all under the same roof.
Oh, my gosh.
All under the same roof.
Oh, my gosh.
And we were instilled with the belief that faith, education, and hard work will help you achieve anything you want to achieve in life.
Absolutely.
And so, therefore, my mother is my shero.
Yes.
Even though she's not with us, she's still with me in spirit.
Absolutely.
Fast forward, as we grew up, being in low-income housing, as it is today, people tend to classify you as at risk. You're an at-risk kid.
Yes.
Well, my mother taught us that meant we were at risk of doing great things.
Absolutely.
And so life would be very good for us. Wow. And I believe that today.
Absolutely.
That any kid that is considered at risk is at risk of doing great things with us nurturing them, the right resources, and the love that we give them.
Absolutely.
Fast forward, I began my telephone career it was Southern Bell at the time, over 3 decades ago. I started my career as an operator.
Oh my gosh, you sound like my mother. I'll talk about that in a minute.
Yes. And I actually left a job with the City of Raleigh Utilities to take this job, which was a 9-to-5, no weekends, no holiday job. I left that job to come to AT&T and to work nights, weekends, holidays. And people thought I was crazy for doing it for less money.
For less, yes.
Yeah, for less money. And but I saw more into that than what everybody else could see. I was on a mission. I was on a mission to succeed. And I knew that I had to pay my dues and earn my stripes to be able to get to where I needed to be. So this job, like I said, was the lowest paying job, and it's actually where most women and women of color started. Yeah. So, but I was okay with that, and my ultimate goal actually was to take this job so that I could transfer to Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
Because I believed, and this has been over 3 decades ago, but I believed at the time that if I could get to Atlanta, my chances of succeeding would be even greater. So I worked and worked and worked, but the thing about it is that what I didn't factor in that plan was that I would be climbing the ladder where I was. And so it wasn't my time to move to Atlanta.
Gotcha.
And my mother used to always teach us that you blossom where you're planted. And so I was planted there at that time, and I continued to blossom, and my career continued to grow.
Absolutely.
And here I am today in Atlanta. Over 3 decades ago, I arrived here in December of 2018 and landed here as the president of, at that time, AT&T Georgia. And I am now president of the AT&T Coastal States.
Wow.
Me and my team, we lead the efforts of economic development, job growth, community activities, and legislative affairs.
Oh my gosh. That
Yes.
sounds like 5 or 6 different.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I work with state and local community leaders, to make sure that we have the right public policy to foster an environment of investment. Therefore, my company, wants to invest in a state that is easy to do business, and Georgia has been that state.
Yes.
So,
awesome.
That is awesome.
And I was taught at a very early age that, where your origination is not your destination.
So many the quotes
can achieve what you want to achieve, but you don't let labels hold you back.
No.
Understood.
No, absolutely.
Let's stay there a little bit on your background and where you're from. And could you tell us a little bit about how that resembles the west side of Atlanta, from where you were raised and your upbringing, and the importance of AT&T really putting the resources and the services out to these underserved communities on the west side?
Well, AT&T is committed to connections, connecting our communities, connecting our people, connecting our employees.
Gotcha.
We're very interested in investing in organizations that are trying to bring their communities forward. Well, that's similar to my background, growing up in low-income housing projects. It was the Boys and Girls Club, it was the Y, it was those nonprofit organizations that helped me thrive and that taught me various things in life. And so I am very fortunate. I feel like I'm blessed. I'm not just fortunate. I am blessed to be able to work for a company that is their focus in making connections and giving back to the community. And this job allows me to be able to give back to the communities like those that I grew up in.
Absolutely.
And people that was at the level that I was at when I grew up.
Awesome.
That is just amazing. It must be amazing. It's amazing to see. It's amazing to hear. It must be even more amazing to be living it. Like this is actually your life. So like this neighborhood, as everyone knows, I'm all about the West Side. So I live here in English Avenue, about 3/4 of a mile from here. And so when you talk about those at-risk youths, my son is 7 years old. Technically, he would be one of the children that you're talking about for sure.
Absolutely.
Single mother. Living in a neighborhood such as this, no father in the house, just putting it all out here. I'm being transparent, okay?
Yeah.
No strife in our home, I will say that,
right.
But just, it is what it is, okay? So for you to say that he is at risk to be prosperous, I mean, that sounds awesome in a general standpoint, but specifically being the mother that I am, raising a son in a neighborhood like this, I love hearing that. And then your story about starting as an operator at, you said Southern Bell?
It was Southern Bell at the time.
My mother worked at Michigan Bell,
okay.
And she was an operator. And then it was Ameritech, and it was SBC,
That's
and
right.
then eventually it was AT&T, so it's so funny to hear that.
Yes.
I can't wait to tell my mother who I'm interviewing here
we're
today. Thank you for tuning in to part 1 of our 2-part series with AT&T's Venessa Harrison. Hi, it's Ebony Ford, host of Westside Wise. Access to affordable, reliable, high-speed internet is more important than ever. That's why AT&T is furthering its efforts to help bridge the digital divide by offering new solutions that help households here in Atlanta and beyond stay connected to work, education, healthcare, and more. AT&T has worked to reduce barriers to the cost of home internet service by combining access from AT&T, which provides low-cost internet service for eligible households, with the Federal Affordable Connectivity Program benefit. Eligible households can get free home internet service. I discovered access from AT&T at a time when I had no car, no job, no money, no internet. It was the segue for me to be able to apply for benefits, look for childcare programs, look for jobs, and attend training. It literally was my foundation to be able to get back on my feet. And it all started with access from AT&T. Terms and restrictions apply. Speeds up to 100 megabits per second where available. Learn more at att.com/internet/access.